I've given us a chance to speak privately, but I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I need your help with something private. Yes, but it needs to be kept quiet. I may have entered into an agreement with Enther. He had something I needed, so I traded him something of mine. It was a mistake, and now I want back what I gave him. It's an amulet that belonged to my family, and I never should have given it to Enther. But he won't deal with me. Talk to him. See what it'll take to get my amulet back. I've never heard of anything like that. Did you ask Tolfdir? He's been here a long time, and seems to know almost everything. Until next time.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim. The local Nords may not like us very much, but they don't seem to mind having access to enchanted weapons and armor. I need some more supplies. Can you help out with that? I'm running low on greater soul gems. If you could bring me 3 more, that would be helpful. So you do. Thank you. This will help quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dumb as you look.
Let me give you a bit of advice. You want to work on something that's not officially allowed? Don't tell anyone you're doing it. So did Carlia send you again, or are you here on your own this time? Oh my, how precious. Onmund is too afraid to deal with me himself, and so he's sent you. I'll make this very simple for you. All my trades are final. Onmund knew this ahead of time and went through with it anyway. So there's nothing more to be said. Oh, I suppose, but you keep this to yourself. I don't want it being known that I go back on my trades, understand? Oh, no, that won't do at all. Not my problem, not even a little. Take it to Tolfdir. He's supposed to be looking after you lot.
I didn't think he'd really give it back. Thank you, friend. It's good to know I can count on you.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
Please don't bother the Arch-Mage unless it's absolutely necessary. That's nothing you need to concern yourself with. Very well. It's not something often discussed, as it might be misunderstood by the locals. The Augur is down in the Midden, below the college. I don't recommend going down there unless it's absolutely necessary. No more than anyone else, I don't think. They're a very old order, predated the Imperial Mages Guild by quite a bit. In fact, the Mages Guild was founded in opposition to the idea of the Psijic Order, that only an elite few should have control over magic. No one has seen or heard from them in over 100 years now, though.
I'm not sure what happened. A monk from the Psijic Order. Here after all these years, and then he just leaves. I hope we didn't offend him somehow. Beyond asking for you, he never said. Very strange indeed. Has Tolfdir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject.
Nearby Mirabelle does a fine job as Master Wizard, I suppose. Still, there's always room for improvement. I can't wait to see who succeeds Mirabelle. I've no doubt she'll be promoted to Arch-Mage at some point. I dare say you've learned all I can teach you. But that doesn't mean there isn't more out there. Over the years, I've heard things. Powerful magics lost to the ages, incredible spells that only the most skilled mages can master. This is the only thing I've ever found. I think it's better off in your hands.
You can see me? But you can hear me, obviously. Something still isn't quite right. At least I'm making progress. There may be a matter in which your skills could be useful. The various points of focus for magic energies around the college have become polluted and need cleansing. Very well. These specially enchanted gloves will allow you to delve directly into the focal points for these energies. Go to each focal point and remove whatever impurities you may find there. Return the gloves to me when you have finished. Please exercise caution. This is not a procedure without possible consequences. All right, then.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You consider Restoration a valid school of magic, worthy of study, don't you? Don't you? It's quite simple, really. There are some who shall not be dignified by being named, who have implied that it is not. That is to say, it's been suggested that resources used for my study of restoration could be put to better use. Any other use, in fact. It's not just healing cuts and bruises, you know. The undead are a very real, very dangerous threat, and restoration magics can keep them at bay. Not to mention the benefit of wards. How can they continually overlook wards? It's baffling. Well, no, not really. Not directly, I mean. But I know things are being said behind my back. Conversations cease when I enter rooms. I'm quite aware of what's going on here, and I will not stand for it. I'll gladly share my knowledge with you.
Heard from your family recently?
No, not really. Couriers don't seem to like delivering
It's
letters
always
here.
encouraging to see the younger generations embracing
Not
education.
at all. It means I'm not being hounded about my progress at the
Well,
college.
yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I can't find my Alembic. I suppose I could use another one, but... well, it sounds silly, but mine has sentimental value. If you happen to see it, would you mind bringing it to me? Ah, yes, there it is. Thank you so much. Not much, I'm afraid. It was named Cavazine's Fang after the dragon worshipped by this particular sect of the cult. They were said to be quite fond of ritual sacrifices. So fond, in fact, that the High Priest spent a great deal of time sharpening the dagger. That way, it was always ready for the next inevitable victim. Perhaps not the brightest spot in Skyrim's history, eh?
Not just any dragon scales, heart scales. Very special. You'll need Cavazine's fang, of course. Then, if you should happen upon the corpse of a dragon, you should be able to use it to slice off a heart scale or two. Even just one should be enough for me to complete my research.
You haven't heard any more about dragon sightings, have you?
No, which is fine with me.
If you have a moment, could you help me with something?
Do you have any idea
I
how
still
much
need some help, if you can spare the
or
time.
even better, bottle their flame?
We're all trying to
Right
become
by
better
or paying
mages,
an
right?
immense amount.
Well, I need someone I can practice a few spells on. Nothing dangerous, really.
No, I don't
Would
think
you be
I've
willing
any
to
interest in
assist
that
me?
sort of thing.
Oh, good. I was afraid I'd have to go ask J'zargo. Now, you just stand there. Please hold still, and don't move. There! Now oh dear. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you feel all right? You look very, green. I am so very sorry. I went over this again and again, and I was sure it would have better results. I'm not really sure. I think it's just a minor miscalculation on my part. I'm sure it will wear off soon. When it does, you'll be perfectly fine, and then we can try again. In the meantime, I'll see about figuring out what went wrong.
Can you possibly help J'zargo? It is difficult to admit, but J'zargo could still use some help. J'zargo has seen that Tolfdir likes you. You must be very skilled with magic, yes? J'zargo is working hard, but cannot do it alone. Can you help with this? J'zargo has worked hard on learning new spells, trying new things. This will make J'zargo stand out as a mage. But J'zargo works so hard, there is no time to test these new spells. If you help with the testing, this will make learning easier. J'zargo will give you scrolls. You will use them and report the results. This is a good plan, no? You tell J'zargo when you are ready. You can resist, can you? Let's see. This one, I think. J'zargo has designed it to be an excellent flame cloak, with a twist. It is especially potent against the undead, and should burn them to a crisp in no time. J'zargo gives you plenty of these scrolls, so you try them and return when you can say whether they work. J'zargo awaits word of how well his scrolls work.
I'm working on some very important research, I assure you. You mean the official sort of business? Well, no. No, not really. But I can't help but notice that you're doing quite well for yourself. Rising through the ranks and all. It may not be official, but there is a project I've been working on. I wonder if perhaps you could assist with it. Yes. No, I don't think so. Not at this point. It's just that, well, I'm not even really sure it's going to amount to anything just yet. All theoretical right now, you understand? But the implications are quite intriguing, I think. I simply need some experimental results to confirm my suspicions. Just bring me some Dwemer cogs. I need to examine them for the methods used in forging them. 10 of them should be enough for me to get a better understanding of how they were crafted. That's all I need, all right?
Still no word from your family?
No, and I'm not expecting any.
You know, they say knowledge is its own reward. Illusion really is the least appreciated of the schools of magic. Yes, they have. I can feel the difference already. But, of course, I'm far more in tune with these sorts of things than most. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. All right, then.
perseverance will only lead to disappointment. Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter. I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. But those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you seek. Indeed. And so you have come looking, though you do not know why. Like others before you, you blindly follow a path to your own destruction. The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late. The one who calls himself Ankano. He seeks information about the Eye, but what he will find shall be quite different. His path will cross yours in time, but first you must find that which you need. You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Arch-Mage.
I'm working on some very important research, I assure you.
J'zargo regrets there was no chance to speak with the Sijic monk. And? Were they magnificent? No. That was not supposed to happen. But J'zargo is pleased to see that you are here, and not in pieces. You are a good friend to have done this. J'zargo will not forget it. Mages in Cyrodiil are all about politics. The Synod and the College of Whispers are too busy guarding secrets to bother to teach. Skyrim was not J'zargo's first choice, but Winterhold is removed from politics, dedicated to study. This is the place for J'zargo to become great.
Come across something like this before?
Why?
All right, then.
We didn't all grow up in dwarven ruins, you know.
Well, yes. Sorry to have troubled you.
I still need some help, if you can spare the time. Exactly as I said it would. Now, are you ready to try again? I am confident it will work this time. This will be worth it. Okay, now don't move at all. Oh my. That isn't right. Just wait. I can fix this. Oh no, that's not it at all. Let me try again. This really isn't turning out the way I'd hoped. I'll get it right this time. I swear. There. All better. Well, it all worked out in the end, didn't it? Oh no, it hasn't. Let's be honest. I have a long way to go before I'm ready for the kind of advanced magic I've been attempting. But at least I know where to start now. Thank you. You've been a great help to me. So far, if only because no one is telling me how great I ought to be. I just want to learn. I don't want to think about what's expected of me. Didn't you know? Before the Oblivion Crisis, many elves called Winterhold their home. More visited the college from Morrowind every year. After, growing distrust of magic made life difficult for many. Some left rather than endure the growing hatred from the local Nords. Others returned home after the Red Year, when Vardenfell erupted and caused much destruction. Winterhold itself died in the years between then and now. What's left out there is a husk. Only the college really remains. I know I don't like the way he looks at me. I can't tell if he expects me to blow myself up or to try and murder him. But he clearly doesn't trust any of us. Until next time.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented. It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim is tainted. Really? And what might that be? I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it. And how do you know of this? Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this. A most impressive attitude. Keep this up, and you'll do quite well for yourself. Something as specific and ancient as the Staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything? I'm quite pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now. I hope Mirabelle is helpful in locating the staff.
Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking? I see. Well, yes, I suppose I did mention it, though I'm not sure what he expects me to tell you. I only brought it to his attention a few months back when the Synod showed up here looking for it. They were apparently under the impression we were keeping it in a closet somewhere. Mages based out of Cyrodiil. They fancy themselves the imperial authority on magic these last few hundred years. My understanding is that all they really do is make noise in an attempt to curry favor from the Emperor. Lots of politics, little magic. I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed amiable enough, but their line of questioning made me uneasy. It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to consolidate power. No one here does. The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruins of Mzulft, but that's all I remember. It sounded like they were heading there, though they were rather secretive about why. I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mzulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative. I'm not really sure. Made and used by Magnus himself, if you believe those sorts of things. I believe I've heard it said that it's the only thing that could adequately contain his power. The sort of embellishment wizards of ancient times loved to make.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim. The local Nords may not like us very much, but they don't seem to mind having access to enchanted weapons and armor. Well, there's more enchanting to be done. You can acquire whatever it is and bring it back here, and I'll take care of it. All right, be quick about it, will you? This is a good way for the college to bring in some money. Here's the name and location of the client. All right, then.
To think the day would never come. So, you broke the binding spell, did you? Matters little. Their souls are trapped in oblivion all the same, and here I stay. Where I belong is back aboard my ship, on the Abyssian. You've no hope of defeating me, pup. Don't bother. Why not broker a Those kids are dead anyway. Killing me won't bring them back. I, on the other hand, have done quite a bit with my time on Mundus. Release me, and I'll share a bit of my wealth with you. Years back, I had to ferret away some booty nearby. We'd sunk an Imperial galleon off the coast. Good plunder, but we needed to travel light. We stashed what we couldn't carry, and I hid it with a trick I know. I can point you in the right direction, and we'll each go our separate ways. Names have power, lass. You should know by now. Just say, Velehk Sain, I release you, and poof, I'm on my way. There's a smart lass. Check the map. The loot's hidden there. It'll show itself when you get near. See you on the other side, mortal.
crystal. Gone. Find Paratus. In Oculory.
Gavros, is that you? I'd almost given up hope. Let me get the door. What are you doing here? What have you done with Gavros? And just why would you be doing that? Oh, it doesn't matter now. Gavros is never coming back, and he was supposed to have the crystal. Without that, we're lost. It's all been for nothing. So congratulations, whoever you are. You found the Synod. Just me, alone, surrounded by angry machines and angrier Falmer. It didn't work the first time. I tried to tell Gavros, but he wouldn't listen. No, it won't be too cold, he said. Well, I was right, wasn't I? Focused completely wrong by the time we got here. The cold had warped it. Gavros had to cart it all the way back to Cyrodiil. Left the rest of us here to fend off the damnable Falmer. You found... How in the world? That's it? That's it! I don't know who you are, but you may have just saved this little project. In fact, who are you anyway? You are you? Savos wouldn't even grant us an audience when we came to you, but now you come here expecting something from me? I don't much like this, I'll tell you. But you saved my skin, so maybe I can overlook the past for now. Come on, I'll explain on the way. No matter what Gavros said, this was my idea first. The Council is going to know that when I get back. I was the one who thought of using this oculory. I don't know what the dwarves called it. Something unpronounceable, I'm sure. From all our research, it seems they were intent on discerning the nature of the divine. This machinery, all of it, was designed to collect starlight, and then, I'm not sure, split it somehow? It was my idea to replace one of the key elements with our focusing crystal. Months of enchantments went into it. Let's just hope they got it right this time. Here it is. Magnificent, isn't it? Took an incredible amount of work to get it running again. Now I'm hoping it'll all be worth it. Place the crystal in the central apparatus, and we can start the process for focusing it. You want something from me? Yes? Now the crystal needs to be focused. It was created so far away. We knew that some adjustments would have to be made. Heating and cooling the crystal will cause it to expand or contract, which will change how the light passes through it. You'll need to use spells to do that. Being from the college, I assume you know them already. Results. They're not at all what they should be. This projection should be lit up like the night sky. Something is creating an incredible amount of interference. Something in Winterhold, it looks like. What are you playing at? Is this some attempt to stall my work? So what is it? What have you done? Did you know what we were attempting? Are you here to make sure your plan worked? That our efforts have been for nothing? Well, explain yourself. You and your college have ruined years of my work. I've lost colleagues and friends to the Falmer, and you want me to calm down? How did you do it? But it must be something you're doing. There's no other explanation. You have something at your college, don't you? Something immensely powerful, beyond anything I've anticipated. What is it? Well, now, this I hadn't considered. If that's taken into account, these results make more sense. You're looking for something, yes? The Staff of Magnus. Well, even if you are trying to ruin my work, there's still something to be learned here. I can't explain the details. That would be giving away many secrets the Synod have learned over the years. Also, I doubt you'd be able to comprehend the details. Have you seen the orrery in the Imperial City? It was the inspiration for this idea. Instead of projecting the sky, we project all of Tamriel, and then harness the latent energies to overlay the positions of... What's important is that all of this work was designed to reveal to us sources of great magical power. Purely to help safeguard the Empire, of course. And yet, in the end, only 2 locations have been revealed to us. One is your college. The other, well, that can only be Labyrinthian. So, mage from Winterhold, despite your intentions, I've beaten your little game. Even if all you've said here is lies, I know you have something in Winterhold the Synod Council will be very interested in. So fine. Trudge off to Labyrinthian in search of your staff. I shall return to Cyrodiil and deliver my full report to the Council. This is not over, I assure you. Well, yes. Probably. I mean, yes. Certainly it is. But that doesn't matter now, because I know you're hoarding something even more important at your college. The Council will be informed of this. They will find out what you're up to. Am I? Am I? I think I've discovered more here than I could have hoped to. Your trickery won't confuse me. I think we're done here.
You have done well thus far, but trying times are ahead. It is imperative that you return to your college at once. You will be called on to take swift action, rise to the challenge, and discover what you are capable of. You are on the right path, and you will prevail.